Yes, you're the boss, whatever.
Oh, please, just leave me alone.
Be advised, a failure to comply with Albion orders may result in your arrest. Resisting arrest will be met with consequences.
batteries for antacids. Swap out the iron lung for the aluminium lung. Swap out MRI machines for Mary machines, which is just a lady called Mary telling you you're fine.
Obviously, critical shortages are as much part of our daily lives, our society and our culture today as things like football, music and complaining about the weather used to be in the old days. And, well, food shortages, we just learn to live with them, don't we? And there's a lot of positives as well with all these food shortages. I mean, we were eating too much anyway. As a nation, the government's just helping us live healthier lifestyles. It's so hard to diet on your own, isn't it? You need the support of a friend or a loved one or a government or perhaps Three, the human race had already cooked all the recipes it needed. So there's nothing more to be done with food. We've done that, we can tick it off, we've done it. I was bored of food anyway, I've been eating it all my life. If you've been doing the same thing 3 times a day, 4, sometimes 7, or even 8 times a day, you're bound to get bored of it. And also, final positive, no more meal times. Frees up all that extra time for appreciating all the selfless hard work that Albion do to keep us all safe.
Well, as you say, Andy, people are drawn to novelty, and everyone's had breakfast once. Why do you got to keep having it again and again?
Boring, repetitive. Enough of that in life as it is. You are listening to The Bug. Well, another story that has come to the fore recently is that all European imports have been banned for public health reasons, which is great news. I mean, at least we can get ill eating good, home-produced, locally sourced, British, industrially unsafe food. That's something we can all cling to. Public health reasons, those are curious words. Alice, I don't know if that in case the public is too healthy eating the Mediterranean nut. It's a British food for British tummies. Spelt, nettles, rabbit. That's all we need. It's all we need in the glory days.
What
Everyone
in the
around the
fresh
table.
hell is that thing?
Who needs Italian olives when you can eat pickled rubber bands and a soup of regret? Who needs a nice cheese when you can eat a lukewarm, unspecified rat meat pie with 0 spices?
Sand, nettles, and bits of dead fox. That's all we needed to eat in the glory days.
This is the place. Where's our informant?
Bad news from Hamish. His contact is...
Fucking hell. Tell me you lot met with my contact and he had nothing to do with this.
Your man never showed up, Hamish.
Note this down. A deluded pseudo-reality of my own making, which is in fact the most densely populated place on Earth these days. Overcrowded, some might say. Joining me, as always, my next-door neighbour in these Netherlands of nonsense. It's Alice.
Yes, indeed, it is Alice. Alice, who the bleep is Alice? I am not going to tell you that, but you can just sort of sense it from the timbre of my voice.
Let's spin the wheel and find out where we're getting today's news from. It's coming from here. I must get a new wheel with at least one other place on it. And the headline today, Alice, our borders are safe. We can all sleep easy in our well-bordered beds. 4,000 illegals were deported last month. These illegal people breaking the law just by existing. And, of course, illegality is...
This is the site where Nigel Cass was attacked, but...
We've got rid of 4,000 of them. My question to you, Alice, is why is there 4,000? Is that really enough? As your next illustration, that at least another 75 million people have been deported from this country, and I'm here in Britain on my own.
Citizens are advised to avoid city streets during high-risk
normally
hours.
be outraged about this, but really I think mass deportation is a very handy way to break up with a partner. I'm sorry, baby, I love you, but an anonymous source has reported you for snoring really loudly in a French way.
So everyone out, no exceptions. Alex, not even you. It's for the good of the country. Everyone out, unless you can prove that your family are in the background of a Bayeux tapestry cheering on King Harold at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Get out. Actually, that's not British enough. Unless you can show unalterable, unpainted by anything since before the Romans. Unless you're direct answer.
National crime statistics in violent crime over the last year. Albion is working for you.
going to need a bit more data if you want me to reconstruct the scene in augmented reality.
They can hack our vehicles.
Come on! You can end this right now! Whack waffle!
No room for error here. Stick to procedure.
I'm going to need a bit more data if you want me to reconstruct the scene in augmented reality.
Fucker could be anywhere. My boy, don't...
They're fucked up! We better check back with the others!
They've got a gun!
That should do it. Go back to the location of...
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
This does look like pro-terrorism, in the sense... Searching facial recognition databases. Look at that. Albion trucks with black boxes on the undercarriage, just like aeroplanes. I can track down the black box, which should lead us to the truck's current location.
Be a dear and run the plates, won't you?
Of course. I'll also monitor Albion communications and 1,000 other little things you would have... According to Albion radio chat...
Yes, sir. Preparations are back on schedule. I believe the stage is ready to go up. We anticipate no more delays. No, sir. These weren't your run-of-mill squatters. Those were cleared out last night. They seemed more organized. Protesters, possibly. We took them all in. Anyone not able to absolutely prove their identification was taken to the... Sir, all serious injuries have been evacuated to nearby hospitals as ordered. I want a full incident report ASAP. This was preventable, Harris. Human error, and it cost human lives. Innocent lives it was our duty to protect. Yes, sir. The vehicle and floor. Handle it. Gather the media. I have something that needs to be said. We failed. This should never have happened, and I plan on making sure it never happens again.
Oh, look at this.
Things that would just keep you scrolling, or keep you listening, or keep you looking for more information. The second is that kind of environment favors sensationalism. And so you got more sensational headlines and more sensational stories, and it didn't matter whether they were true or not. It just kept people in, and it kept them in the loop. So we ended up in a situation where nobody trusted anything, and nobody believed anything at all. perfect environment for an authoritarian voice to come in and say, no, wait, we are the people. The ground for this environment really got created when we had suddenly authoritarian politicians everywhere, and anything that threatened them or they disagreed with, they would call it disinformation. That's disinformation, that's fake news, and again, you got into a situation where nobody...
I'm at the Tone bombing site. You're...
This is the truck used in the Finsbury attack. I have a VIN and plate match. The dash cam is a shambles, but the local cameras picked up some audio. Worth a listen.
Oh, Jesus. He's pretty burnt up.
Happens when your truck explodes.
Fuck. I used to see him around R&D. Did you know him?
Hell no. But he...
I'm detecting several optics nearby with no life signs connected. That's where we should look for the driver's body.
On it. This one's already mulch. Can't be our attacker.
Yes, from the state of decay, I'd say this person died, right around the tone bombing. So that's one mystery solved.
Drone, perform search.
Recent burns. Looks like a match for our attacker.
There's a lump of damaged metal in his noggin that might once have been an optic.
And let me guess, you've already deciphered it like the genius you are.
I'm pulling everything down from his cloud storage now. I recommend escaping from the... I've decrypted an audio file recovered from the attacker's body. Shall I play it?
You do you, Bags.
He's launched them, Mum. They're waiting.
Dear Lord.
Want to see how much havoc we can cause today? I promise it'll be fun.
Of course. You think I'm crazy?
You can input your accusations with the app. Let's go old school. Let's call the phone line. Let's call the phone line. Here's the number, listeners, in case you want to dob someone in, as long as it's not me. 0044 203 807 3832. And don't forget to get the permission of the person who pays your bills before you call that number.
Hey, I'd like to report my co-host Andrew, who runs an underground satirical anti-government comedy show, for running and co-hosting an underground satirical anti-government comedy show. Also, he does terrible puns.
Well, excuse me, I have a suspect for you. That is my co-host, Alice. I have some evidence for you. She tutted audibly at the sight of an Albion vehicle in the street yesterday. She says she prefers pigeons to Bloom drones. I mean, come on, seriously, when did a drone ever crap on your picnic? And what's more... look, I've no idea if it's true. Hello, Dob you in, so you might as well get in there first and preemptively counter-dob them in to the authorities. What's that number again? Let's call them up again. Hey, I've got someone else. It's my son. Let's call him Norris. He never tidies his bedroom. He gets up late. He listens to illegal, non-government sanctioned music and is covertly plotting the downfall of the government and the restoration of the true democracy. Thank you.
Yeah, just define all your household chores as patriotic. And if they fail to do them, dob them in.
Problem solved.
If you don't do the washing up, do you even want a clean British ethnostat?
This is the bug on the Buccaneer. Well, Before we go today, Alice, let's delve into what we most miss about the old days. I'm going to kick off with...
This is Albion's primary communications hub, but there's more security here than there is around the Royal Meth Stash. You should start by destroying their encryptors. If your hacking skills are up to snuff, dominating a combat drone or two could help.
Yes, I understand. did one. What's next?
encryptors, you can now upload the virus using the central antenna.
Yes, I understand.
That was their last known possession. Anyone see them?
Call up the search.
Here we go.
I'm reading incoming drones.
Is it the famous ones?
No. These aren't the algorithmically driven assassin drones. They're just the normal drones that also kill you.
Drones have been deployed to apprehend the suspect.
The virus upload won't continue until you get back to the antenna. Don't worry, it's more afraid of you than you are of it. The upload's about half done.
Okay, no problem.
Security breach. Road reinforcements en route.
This is a beautiful thing to see.
That's it for them, spam. No coming back from this.
Yes, the lights are lovely. I suggest you leave before someone gets the bright idea to turn yours off.
conditions?
Alarm could be malfunctioning, but let's make certain.
Cass's plan to use drones driven by some social algorithm to dispense justice has backfired. Do you think he's actually read any of those Greek myths he's named his drones after?
What's to stop the next plan and the one after that? Cass is the real problem here. We have to...
Nothing. Resuming regular patrols.
It's just much less of a society.
I want to know the details of the contracts, Alice. I mean, are they paid per dissident duffed up? Is it a set rate for each extrajudicial state mugging? And what is that rate? What do you think?
Well, they certainly look like they're trying to hit a quota of some kind.
Well, what is the set rate? Is it, 99.95 cryptos bargain? Seems very reasonable indeed. I imagine they don't ask too much anyway, Albin, because it's just so nice to get paid for doing your hobby anyway, isn't it? I imagine it doesn't even feel like work.
Disabled. I mean, who needs violent crime anymore anyway? You know, you can just starve to death without even starting a gang war.
We do have to ask exactly what does the Prime Minister make of all this? Let's ask him. But 10 Downing Street. Hello, is the Prime Minister there, please? Let me just check. Sorry, you've missed him. I'm afraid he's popped out for the decade. Oh, never mind. Is there anyone else I can talk to? Yes, of course. There's a Sadie Cabal, a vested interest who control him and prop him up in power. Great, I'll have a chat with them then.
Oh, Andy, remember when you could get away with prank calls without people coming around to your house to beat the shit out of you?
Oh, happy times.
You're listening to The Bar.
Did you think the Prime Minister will ever come back?
I don't think we've ever had a Prime Minister.
Well, that's a much more reassuring way of looking at things. What have we become, Alice? When you look at the state of our politics, we're supposed to have the mother of parliaments. Well, this is one mother that is decided to abandon her kids in the woods to be brought up by wolves. And let me tell you, that never works out like it does in the stories. Wolves are bad parents, unless you're a wolf, in which case they can do a job bringing you up as a wolf. Do not give your children to wolves. And do we actually own anything as a country now? Is there anything we haven't flogged off for profit? I think we've basically just become a homeopathic Britain. Diluted and diluted until there's barely a trace of the original Britain left. But some quackish lunatics insist it actually works better that way. It's total bullshit. Is there anything left? New on the bus this week. A new feature. The Bug Off feature. The person who has most irritated us in Britain this week, we're going to tell to bug off, and to get things going, nominates Big Nigel. Nigel Cass. Look, this is Britain. History tells us this place is a bastion of freedom. I'm just not sure that kind of freedom should involve Big Nigel expressing his freedom to run a world. I guess, historically, there is a precedent, the East India Company. That was a trading house with an army of 250,000 soldiers, which is a lot for a company. The Bug PLC has Alice with a water pistol, but crucially, compared with Albion, the East India Company didn't operate its 250,000 strong army in London. It did it a long way away, out of sight, out of mind. Anyone to nominate for the Bug Off, Alice?
I think today's Bug Off for me goes to my streaming service. I'm sick of being recommended things based on things I already like. The other day it recommended me to watch a reality TV competitive dating show set in a nude commune. Andy, I watched it and I liked it, and I do not want to be the kind of person who enjoys nude competitive reality television dating shows. I did not want to know that about myself. I have to go sit in the corner and cry.
That's it.
Unsighted sweeping area.
Show that is so secret it is definitely not happening at the usual time and place.